My heart is still pumping right now. It's really difficult for me to comprehend when I'm watching it. It's just really, really heartbreaking. And as a father, I cannot understand what's going in his mind at the moment that he's doing the murder. It's just I don't know. What's up, YouTube? This is your boy G back on another video. Today we're gonna talk about a very popular crime documentary in YouTube that is now on Netflix, American Murder: The Family Next Door. Netflix released this last September 30, 2020. Again, as I've said, this is a really popular crime documentary, kind of flooding YouTube, but finally Netflix created a really good documentary version on their own, and we're gonna discuss it right now. This crime happened last 2018, where a 34-year-old pregnant wife named Shannon Watts, together with her two daughters, a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old daughter, disappeared all of a sudden and is believed to be murdered by her very own husband, Chris Watts. All right, now since this is a really popular case out there, in YouTube, in US, we're basically gonna talk spoilers here. Like nothing's really spoiler anymore, because again, everybody knows, right? Even in the beginning of this show, you would know right away who is the murderer, right? But we're gonna talk our points in our discussion on this. First, I'm gonna talk the Netflix delivery about the documentary, if it's good, if I like it, and then finally I'm gonna share my thoughts on this crime itself. What happened? Let's analyze it together, and let's discuss it right now. All right. First of all, I would like to acknowledge Netflix doing a great job, showcasing this crime documentary. I think they've done a really fantastic job in the delivery and the presentation of the show itself. The format is very different from what we're probably used to. I'm a crime docu fanatic myself, human behavior, profiling a la Criminal Minds, as well as a paranormal junkie. I'm also a paranormal junkie myself. So I've seen a ton of documentaries like this, where they reenact scenes, right? They conduct interviews, they narrate stories using enticing and really interesting voices right there. But this show has none of those things, right? Has none of that. It's like a movie. It's like it's all presented and calculated, well calculated. All of the things that you see in the screen, all of the storytelling are really, really good in delivery. It's as if you're watching a reality TV or a good movie that is very, very heartbreaking. It's very painful to watch, especially on the end, but it's a really good watch. What I noticed is the presentation is so awesome, using body cams, CCTV footage, actual Facebook videos and comments and text. It's very different from, again, typical documentary series or crime documentaries out there. What I noticed is Netflix did a great job here in holding that connection, avoiding viewers to be disconnected. So all throughout the show, you will be really invested and connected. You're not gonna look away. You're just really gonna watch from the beginning to end, and that is a really good one. With that being said, though, of course, I believe Netflix could not really cram everything on an 80-minute show, right? So I believe there might be a couple of things, maybe a lot of things that are missing here, like the things that you will normally see more deeper in YouTube, like Chris' relationship with his mistress, Nicole Kessinger, like how happy he is with that woman, right? His text messages or email conversation with that person, or maybe some of their conversation, some of their deeper conversation that maybe will show that maybe the mistress has something to do with it, right? Or triggered Chris in doing this crime, right? We don't really know. It's not really tackled here, right? I would also probably love to see more of Chris and Shannon relationship. Like how do they do their marriage, right? Like how do they handle their marriage? Because of course this show will show the Facebook videos posts most of the time in the or from the eyes of Shannon herself, but we don't really see a bigger picture or even like a closer picture if they're really happy, in their real life. Maybe we'll never really find out, but I think that's just a little bit lacking on that aspect. I mean, you would really see on the show how Chris, the husband, seems to be like a crazy ass monster, that just wreak havoc, right? Just killed his family without really understanding his motivation in doing so. Like what normally criminal minds would do, right? They will think as the murderer to see why did he do that. So it's a little bit lacking there. We don't really see from the eyes of Chris, just from the eyes of Shannon. But I think that's what makes this show really good, really enticing and intriguing to watch, because it's a little bit mystery, right? Still, even though we already know that Chris killed the family, right? His family. What really happened on those moments of murder, we still don't know. Only Chris knows. Still a little bit of a mystery to us. It keeps the story, the documentary, intriguing and enticing. If I will nitpick, I'll probably say they went a little bit overboard, just a little bit overboard in showcasing Shannon's text messages with her friend, talking about how she wanted to have sex with Chris but didn't get it, right? How she just got mad and disrespected Chris's mother because they just probably didn't like each other. Like, the woman is gone, right? I mean, we know that Shannon is gone. Seeing her picture, like a profile picture next to text messages that are like being typed in front of your 50-inch TV there is kind of scary, right? There's something about it that is really spooky. I don't want to victim blame, of course, but the show kind of sided already with Shannon, like, of course, heavily showing her text messages to Chris or to the friend, right? Crying, having problems, right? Thinking that Chris is probably having a mistress already, right? Having an affair. Chris not having sex with her, not grabbing her ass, things like that. The show, of course, show a lot of Shannon's side, but I think none of Chris' side. No storytelling of Chris' side, like how is he? What's that side of the cheating? Is he happy on that mistress? Is he not happy on the current marriage? Is he experiencing financial problem or mental health problem or anything like that? None of those things are tackled in the documentary. All focused on Shannon, but of course we would understand, right? I understand because, again, Chris is the suspect here, right? Chris is the perpetrator, and Shannon is the victim here, along with the kids. But I think that will be interesting, to and probably we can learn a lot of stuff, right? We can learn a lot of things if they went a little bit further and told the side of Chris as well, like why is he cheating? Is the girl even worth it, right? I mean, why is he doing such thing? Is he happy? Because I think a man, right? Of course, I cannot talk about everybody right there, but I think a man will cheat either first, he's just really a cheater, right? Like it's on his blood, right? He will cheat whatever, right? Whenever. The second is just not happy, right? And he wanted to feel whatever he felt first time that maybe seeing Shannon like 8 years ago. They've been married since 2012, I believe. He's probably missing the feeling, right, of Shannon being exciting, being kind and being sweet, maybe at that time. And maybe right now Shannon's just really so dominant, like what the show is trying to tell here. And Chris is probably just done with it, right? And he wanted to cheat to kind of escape. We don't know, right? We don't know. But again, those are, I think, the things that a man might cheat, right, or will cheat if it's just, again, cheater on his blood and he's not happy. Because why would you leave a family? Why would you leave your house if you're really happy with it, right? But I think the show is really fantastic, right? I applaud Netflix delivery on this, using the body cams, the CCTV footages, again, the Facebook grabs, videos, and text messages, and all pictures. It's like you're watching the movie before. I forgot this movie. There's like a movie like this in Netflix, but it's just a movie, right? It's not a documentary. So it's kind of like that, focusing on Facebook, grabbing timelines and all. But then this real thing, right? So it's a documentary. So it's really, really interesting. It's really good. Especially the scene where there's like a girl, I think that's probably a doctor, like psychologist or something, or a cop. and they're like asking Chris to confess, right, for a confession. And they're like testing Chris with the polygraph testing. I mean, of course, we all know that polygraph testing is not even accepted in jury, right? In real justice out there, because it's not really 100% accurate, but it will, right? As we can see here, it will pull the best and the worst out of a person. I just have an opinion on that though, right? Because I really like that scene, right? Because they're really nailing as if they already know what happened. As a matter of fact, as a viewer, of course, I kind of know what happened already as well. Like what I told you, watching a lot of documentaries out there, profiling, right? Studying body movements and gestures of a serial killer or a killer, murder. I kind of know, if a person lies already or not. And these guys, they're a professional, so they're really good in what they do. And I pity Chris that time because Chris keeps on lying and lying to his teeth, and the guys knows that he's lying. So they're like, just stop, Chris. I mean, tell us what happened. You cannot even argue with us right now because the polygraph testing failed, right? You're lying. We all know that you're lying. But again, like what I said, polygraph testing is not accepted in jury. So again, it's not 100%. So just imagine if you're there, right? And you're not Chris, right? I mean, different person or something. And you're not lying, right? You're really telling the truth. But for some reason, the polygraph testing failed. And these guys are like really just nailing you. Come on, just tell the truth. And then you're just gonna talk. I'm not. No, you're lying. Just tell the truth. It's kind of scary to realize that, because what if you're not really lying? It's like you're just gonna confess, because you're too afraid that they might just kill you or just whatever they can do as police or as cops, right? That's probably the police brutality, whatever. But that is pretty intense. I like that scene. The girl there, the doctor, or the police, she's really awesome. Asking direct question, scary question. Like, we know Chris, you're like, did you harm your family? It's crazy. I like it. Take note of that scene. It's really good. All right, so let's now talk about the actual crime. Let me share my thoughts on the crime itself, right? On what happened. Why such things, like this happens, and why is it very enticing and very interesting in people like me, right? People like you, like masses, right? This is very, very interesting to everyone. First, let me talk why this is getting into my nerves. A lot of us are fathers, right? Daddies like Chris, and has daughters like him. I personally have an 8-year-old daughter, and I couldn't understand how can he do such thing, right? How can he just murder his daughters? Let alone the daughters are like 3 years old and 4 years old. My heart is still pumping right now. It's really difficult for me to comprehend when I'm watching it. It's just really, really heartbreaking. And as a father, I cannot understand what's going in his mind at the moment that he's doing the murder. It's just, I don't know. I've seen 100 of crimes, documentaries, and whatever. Husbands, right? Men killing wives and killing a lot of people. Because basically, a man or any man can actually kill any human, right? That's just the human nature, right? And most especially, wife is the most closest, right, person to you. So the wife will normally receive the rage that you might have, right? But daughters, I mean, seriously, kids, it's still a mystery to me. I think he just lost reality, or he just lost touch with the reality and didn't really realize that the kids are his kids, right? Or maybe the devil is just really within him. I don't know. Guy's probably crazy, right? Second is, what is Chris' motivation in doing this, right? In getting out like this? There's a divorce in US, as we all know. I mean, if he's cheating, if he's excited in having sex with somebody else, then just get a divorce, right? Separate. Why do you need to kill your family like this, right? Like what he did. Why kill the children? It's really no point to me. And that's what really makes it interesting. I think killing the wife, and most especially the kids, are extremely pointless. if the reason alone is cheating, we know there's a lot of people cheat like every freaking day, right? You don't need to kill your family in order to cheat. Again, especially in United States where divorce are there, right? So you can just have a divorce. So that is a really big mystery to me. What I think happened here is rage, right? Rage. If you've been following this story in YouTube and, of course, again, Netflix here, you would understand that Shannon, the wife, is very dominant, very strong personality, and Chris is the one being submissive. There's an instance here in the story where Shannon seems to be really bossy, like a bitchy, if you use that term, getting mad on Chris' mother because the grandmother, right, gave the granddaughters, right, Shannon's kids, an ice cream that essentially they're allergic to. And she just suddenly got mad on the mother and probably cursing or saying whatever. Probably not realizing though that grandmothers maybe loves your granddaughters, right, or your own daughters more than you do, right? So I cannot believe, right? I refuse to believe that a grandparent will mean harm to their grandchildren. So if there's an allergy on that ice cream, I'm pretty sure the grandmother didn't know that, right? So as a mother, Shannon should have like told the grandparent that, oh, sorry, Ceci is or Celeste is allergic to this ice cream, so please don't give her that, and let's probably try a different one. But she just got mad and actually caused her to be kicked out on the house. So you can only imagine, it's not really told well on this show. Of course, probably no notes, no stories for that. But you can probably imagine how well did it go, right? How nasty did it go to be kicked out of the house just because of over an ice cream, right? So you would see that Shannon is a little bit bitchy. Even Shannon's friend is actually describing her as a bitchy boss, right? So she's kind of like a bossy, really dominant, powerful woman that is a little bit bitchy. And Chris, as you can see on this show, is very, very submissive, right? Talks less, quiet, just silent. And I'm gonna tell you, those are the really dangerous men out there. I've seen a lot, like tons of men like that, just snapping, and just suddenly killing, doing suicide, and doing some nasty stuff because they're really reserved and quiet. They don't have outlet, they don't have something to ponder. So they just explode like that. They just suddenly explode, like loses it, going crazy, going haywire, and doing this nasty stuff like what Chris did. What I think happened is that on the night of the murder, right, when Shannon returned from Carolina, right? I think she was in Carolina. She's out for like 5 weeks, right? She's out for 5 weeks, and they didn't really talk much because Chris is already cheating that time. What I think happened here is on the time of the murder, when they fought, when they had an argument. Of course, with Shannon being away for about 5 weeks, right, more than a month, Chris lost track, probably lost track of Shannon's dominance. It's like he lost control when he felt dominance for the very first time, because as we know, again, he's the submissive one. He's already cheating that 5 weeks, even probably before. So we don't know if he's the one dominant on his relationship with the mistress, right? With Nicole. He probably lost it on the heated argument with Shannon, with his wife, because again, Shannon's the one dominant here, and maybe he's already climbing that ladder to be dominant as well. So they just clash, and since he doesn't have an experience on being dominant on that aspect, right? He just lost it. He just lost it very first time, like adrenaline, like it excited him. The very first time that he can like overpower or over control Shannon, he just probably lost it, and again lost touch of the reality. That's why this unfortunate thing happened. But again, I'm having trouble understanding why the kids aren't spared. I guess he just went nuts, right? After killing the wife, he probably went nuts because again, this is the very first time that he felt adrenaline, right? Dominance on his body, and he already murdered Shannon. So he already lost it, right? And I think he's not thinking. Of course he's not thinking. I mean, why would a person kill your kids or kill their kids if they're thinking straight, right? So it's definitely not thinking. I think he's still high on that whatever rage or adrenaline murdering Shannon gave him, right? So unfortunately, he's still high on that. It's pretty much like serial killer, if you know serial killer, right? If they're getting that that oomph, or that what do you call that satisfaction in killing somebody, they just do it again and again, right? So it's actually very good that they managed to get this guy, because there's a probably tendency that he will just go serial, right? Kill everybody else because of that rage. The very first time that he tasted that dominance and rage. So unfortunately, the kids were there. And I think, with the kids and already murdered Shannon, he's probably not thinking the kids as his own life and blood, He's probably looking at them as object or hindrance on his freedom, right? To enjoy new life with his mistress, right? Because she's probably killing that children support, right? Child support. Shannon's already not there, so I'm just gonna remove you in the equation as well, and I can reboot. I can reset myself and start all over again with my mistress. Crazy. My last theory on this is Chris is just simply not happy. We probably all know that he's not happy, right? Why would a freaking happy husband just suddenly kill the entire people that is bringing happiness on his life, right? It's obvious that he's not happy. It looks like he's not happy with Shannon, again, because of the dominance that Shannon has. And he probably found out that he likes being dominant more with the mistress, right? Maybe the mistress, the home wrecker there. What's the name of the home wrecker again? That's a home wrecker right there. But the mistress is probably submissive, and Chris felt on the very first time to become dominant, the one dominant on that relationship. That's probably what he took when coming back home and murdering Shannon. He's probably thinking he's dominant already, he's powerful, and Shannon's just nothing, right? It's like all of the rage that Chris is like keeping on his heart, on his chest, just probably exploded that night and just wreaked havoc and killed Shannon because of that, right? So Mistress is not good, because the Mistress kind of like triggered a fantasy, right? For Chris to be like dominant, to be powerful, to live with her essentially without the kids and Shannon. So he probably incited, that idea to himself, Chris, that I'm just gonna kill this family and reset, reboot with a new chick on the side, right? So not good. Mistress are not good. But I really do believe that Chris loved Shannon, right? Especially before, on their marriage. A lot of things are documented here, a lot of videos, but I'm pretty sure that they love each other, right? And we are all aware that love can turn into hatred, right? And hatred can turn into rage. And again, like what I discussed earlier, men can kill anybody, any human per se. And of course, the wife, the partner, is the closest person to the men, right? And again, vice versa. Even of course, women kills a lot. But it's love that can turn into hatred, into rage. And once the heart of that person, engulfed in a rage like this, gonna go nuts. But what I think here is that Chris fell out of love, of course, because of the mistress. But I know that he's not happy anymore, right? The big puzzle here is again, why did he kill Shannon and the kids, right? So again, as last theory that I've got is like, if he's just killing because he got a mistress, I don't think that's a valid argument, right? That's probably pointless even, because a lot of people are cheating like every freaking day, right? And they don't kill. They don't need to kill. They already cheated. Why would they kill? Chris is already cheating. And if he's really cheating and like wanted to hide that or something, he would actually pretend to be really sweet, right? He's probably gonna be sweet, take Shannon out of dinner, dates, grab Shannon's ass, in contrary to what Shannon said here, have even intense sex with Shannon like every freaking day, right? Because not only Chris is already active on sex life because of the mistress, right? And so the horniness is always there. He doesn't want to appear cold as well. So he's gonna do that, sex and do everything so that you're not gonna be caught cheating, right? Because if you're cold and you're being distant, they might think that you're cheating while you're probably just busy in your games or something. So they will do everything in order to pretend that they're good. But Chris did none of these things, right? Like, he's already done. He's already disconnected. Like, 5 weeks in Carolina, the wife is there. He's not even texting, he's not calling. He's busy with the mistress. He's just simply not happy, with the wife, with the life. Even though on Facebook we know that it looks really cool, in reality, he's not happy. If I learned anything from this show, from this story, from what happened, is that people aren't really what they seem. If anything, people who post daily videos or post pictures of like a perfect family or wealth or fake happiness and whatnot, like, seeks approval, right? Getting dopamine out of them likes, right? They probably don't have enough attention and approval within their family. So they seek approval and attention of others in social media. Of course, it's not going to be applicable for everyone. There's just normal people just really being happy and sharing it in social media. It's not applicable to everyone, but that's mostly what I believe. Because if you're really busy on your family, being happy and all, going on travel, doing some things, you probably have less time doing social media, unless you're really a loner, just doing nothing but social media. That's all for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Click the like button if you like this video. Comment down below, what do you think on this Netflix show, right? American Murder, Family Next Door. Do you think anyone can do this? Like, if you look on Chris' face, he's seemingly like a nice guy, right? Do you think anyone can just simply do this? What do you think, guys, people like us can do, right, to avoid snapping like this, right? Again, I'm a father. You're probably a father yourself, a mother and whatnot. What do you think are the best things that we can do in order to be healthy on our mental state and our family, to avoid chaos like this, right? Devil is among us, so we must know what to do. Just go ahead and comment down below your thoughts about this. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. I review a lot of the other Netflix shows out there and unboxing some products as well. But guys, that's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and see you on my next one. Peace.